Yeah, flashing lights as well now, look.
Are we all okay? Happy Sunday, everybody.
The Sabbath.
Let us pray. So, nice. You having a good time?
Yeah.
Were you here yesterday?
Yeah.
Fair play, nice one.
I don't recognise many faces though. Why didn't you come to the table?
You're all going to come over for autographs later, are you? Is that what you're doing?
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, come and see us later, because we're here till probably about 5 to 9 tonight. So.
They're all like, I'll spend the money at those tomorrow.
You've all been queued up for Manu Bennett, haven't you? Bless her.
So thank you for joining us in Glasgow, guys. How does it feel to be in front of the fans and still all this many years after Torchwood still sadly isn't back, but it's still as popular as ever?
Amazing.
Yeah, we just did an interview now, a little bit of a press interview, and just constantly overwhelmed really by we're still here doing Comic Cons and people still come and see us and get autographs and stuff. And Torchwood is still popular, And we were just saying there's still nothing like it on TV. It's a shame. It's a shame that it's not around anymore.
I think Torchwood is around. We're doing big Finish audio stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key. A lot of people say we don't want to hear the audio. We want to see it back on the screens. And I get you. I'm a visual person as well. But I think if you showed sort of the BBC and Big Finish and the producers and Russell how popular it still is by getting the audios, downloading the audios, buying the audios, that'll rekindle interest certainly, because the BBC will say, oh, people are still want it. Let's put it back on the screens. So even if you are more of a visual person, my advice, if you want it back on the screens, is to support the audio as much as possible. Kaizen season 5. I'm not died from an alien fart. But we are doing some in-between episodes as well, and some flashback.
Big Finish, you've got season 5 coming out now.
And if they did return it to TV, Kai, what would you like to see happen to Reese? And Gareth, if they could bring you back in any way, how would you like to be brought back?
It'd have to be really, really good. It couldn't be a cheap comeback because such a noise was made in Yando's death. If he got brought back really easily, then they would just sort of cheapen the drama that was achieved in Children of Earth. So it'd have to be really good. It'd have to be like some type of. I think it'd need a series to tell the story of how he came back. Do like Twin Peaks, bring him, but have him sort of there but not present through the entire series, and right at the end just kill him off again.
I think if it did come back, I'd like it to be back in Cardiff and back in Wales, where its home, the charm of it there. And for Reese, just to carry on as he is really, as that guy who loves Gwen and he's a father now, and every now and again has to give him a hand. I'd be happy with that, because very grateful to be any part of it in any way if I ever came back. So. I don't think you need to do anything different with Reese. The thing is, certain characters, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And when you first got the roles on Torchwood and it was first started, how aware were you that it was going to be completely different, kind of not only tonally but thematically to Doctor Who? Because Doctor Who is traditionally more of a family show. You look at Torchwood by the side of it, and it just was completely different. How aware of you were when you first got the roles of that, and did that kind of make you a bit more concerned that it wouldn't be appealing?
We answered a similar question in the interview we just did. It was always slightly nerve-wracking before that first series aired, because we knew we were Doctor Who is a British institution, so we had to be really, really careful, and it was always touch and go whether the Doctor Who fans were going to accept a spin-off that was more directed towards young adults than it was a family show. But we also read the scripts, we also knew how good it was, and despite the fears, we were all pretty confident that it was going to be a hit. And you're not going to please everyone in the world. There was always some fans out there who weren't going to like it. But what it also achieved was its own fan base. We built our own sort of Torchwood. Was its own beast.
Yeah, I think so. And I think I mentioned again, the words spin-off are always a bit dodgy ground, I think, for me. Not many of them work. And then I think Torchwood very much stands on its own now. It's not, you know, it's classed as Torchwood, not the spin-off. But yeah, I think they'd assembled a great lead cast. The scripts were good, and Russell was behind it. And the launch of Doctor Who with Chris Eccleston and Billy had gone down so well that he was creating this world in Cardiff and this crime-fighting scene. There was a gap in the market, but there was nothing like it on British TV. It was British, it was made in Wales, it was sexy, it was funny, it was heartwarming, it was adult, it was still part of the Who-niverse. It was an exciting time.
And now we're going to open the questions up to the floor, so if you would like to ask a question to our guests, all you have to do is stick your hand up and keep your hand up so I can see it, and then I'll come around to you. It's going to start off with this lady at the front. Here.
So can I first of all just say, I lived in Newport when they were filming and Torchwood was going on, which was interesting.
You live in Newport?
No, I'm from Newport.
Oh, I'm sorry. Me too.
Gaz is from Newport.
It's a cross we have to bear.
Yeah. But did you watch Class when it came out, and if you did, what did you think of that?
Not to be offensive. I think Class was a great idea, but I do think it was a sort of recycling of the Torchwood idea, sort of Torchwood in school, really, like a gang of alien hunters, but in school. And you know, it was great. I just think it just wasn't. It didn't hit the mark as well as Torchwood did. It sort of, yeah, the execution wasn't quite as good as it was with Torchwood. But so, you know, lovely, great actors, very talented team. Patrick Ness is really talented. I don't think it was anything to do with lack of talent or ambition. I think some things just worked and some things just missed the mark.
I didn't see it. I didn't watch it, I'm afraid.
That's what I should have said.
Just to be honest. No, I didn't watch it, didn't see any of it, but I think there's so much to explore in the Doctor Who world that these sister shows or splinter shows can work. Torchwood was a prime example, and I think that's where the benchmark is. You know, things have tried to come back and you know do it and all that, and none of them have worked as good as Torchwood. And I think Sarah Jane was amazing. I loved the Sarah Jane adventures.
I think Russell is
big. You know, Russell. You know, I think he knows what works. He knows exactly. But I feel sorry for the actors in Class because. You know, again, talented people are not their fault, you know, actors not getting work and all that is always really harsh. So, and the work it created is a shame. Was it just one series, right?
Yeah.
Always difficult to cast something after one series because it's only just finding its feet. So it probably didn't get given a chance. Maybe you know, make a decision after season 2, iron out the mistakes in season 2 and all that. But it's a brutal business, I'm afraid. And yeah, but. No, I wish them all the best though.
A question for you, person here.
Hiya. How did you feel when you found out that they killed off Ian to Tosh and Owen?
How do we feel? In danger, I think. I mean, we knew it was an adult show. We knew drama had to be created. We knew someone was going to, a regular was going to be killed off at some point. We weren't prepared for two of them to go at once. It was quite a big shock. Yeah, we found out sort of towards the end of the series as well. We'd already started shooting, and it was sort of Byrne took us aside, and Byrne and Yoko took us aside and said, "Look, a few weeks and we're actually leaving the show." And it was sad. Our family had been broken up. We forged quite.
There was no sort of warning of it at the start of the season. I think at the start of season 3, Gaz had said, "Look, I'm only in until episode 4 or something like that." So we knew, but during season 2, at the start of it, we didn't know that the idea was to get rid of Naoko and Byrne at the end. But the news came out of the blue, didn't it?
Yeah.
You know, obviously the producers knew, but they didn't pass the message down. And I think I found out like a week before they actually did go. Because I was off, I had like 6 weeks off because I wasn't in a couple of eps, and then I came back and you said, "Oh, but darling, I've got some unbelievable news," and she took me to one side and said, they're getting rid of Byrne and Naoko. I was like, what the fuck? Literally out of the blue.
That scene at the end when we're deleting all their files and everything, that was the real emotions between me, myself, John and Eve. It was
Yes,
sad.
I think they came incredibly close, the whole lot of them, and it's sad, genuinely sad. I don't think it'd be that if John got killed off, we'd be like, yay,
Woo! Cabbage breath is gone.
cabbage breath is gone. The bitch is dead.
I have a question here.
Ding dong, the bitch is...
I have a question for a young man here.
You mentioned how Torchwood was different from Doctor Who by having sex scenes. How awkward was it to film those?
How awkward is it to film the sex scenes?
As long as you don't get an erection, you're fine. For me, I can't answer that question. I got paid to kiss Eve Miles, so I'm winner. Winner, chicken dinner.
What's it like to work with a massive cock? I mean, John. It was fine. John's such a good patriarch, such a good leading man. He knew I was nervous, and first time I just robe in front of the camera. It was the hot house, wasn't it? Then, once I sort of got into the swing of it, he did tell Eve was supposed to walk in and interrupt us. She didn't. She was just looking in through the window like this. Bitch. It was fine. We all knew each other so well by that point that it was okay. I can imagine if it was a stranger, it'd be a bit more nerve-wracking, but we had fun.
We have a question from a young lady here.
Sorry. Have you seen the Yanto Memorial Wall in Cardiff?
I erected it.
He's there on a daily basis.
I'm there with a small tin cup for change, begging. No, it's great. I mean, weird and flattering. It's not something I claim ownership of either. A lot of people went into the sort of creation of Yanto on sort of his voice box and his face. So it's to the character rather than me, I think. But just very flattering to think that something that I've been part of has affected people to the point that they erect a shrine in his memory, which is still...
Have you been there yourself?
Did
you leave anything there?
They're not your knickers then.
So they're not your knickers then, okay.
It's number 38. It's number 38 in the top 50 things to do in Cardiff. One above the Millennium Centre. Yeah. It's a Google landmark. Seriously.
I have a question for
And it's the top 3 things to do in the Bay, behind John Barrowman and crystal meth.
I'm just so glad the boss left then. So, I have a question for this man here.
Yeah, after season 3 of Torchwood, Children of Men, getting shown over a 5-night run, I thought that was pretty good. But season 4 seemed to go an awful lot longer. If it did come back, would you prefer to have it as a shorter run season or a longer one?
I think Torchwood worked best, and it was at its peak in Children of Earth, really, with the 5 nights. It was exactly where it should be. The only downside was Gaz obviously going.
It was short, but it had plenty of girth.
But it was just, it was perfectly formed. Miracle Day was exciting because we went over to America to do it, and the fact that we were doing Torchwood again was amazing. I don't think it was as good as it could have been at all. It definitely was too long. But for me, I think it worked perfectly, that 5-nighter for Children of Earth, and it's still my favourite.
Yeah, thank you.
We have a question in the middle here.
Hi, I was wondering what was your favourite scene to film as in comic-wise, so like really funny, and like also what was like, apart from the hothouse scene, which was probably one of the best scenes in my opinion, was there any other scenes that you both liked in particular?
There was loads. There's some really lovely, funny moments. I'll tell you what was good. I did enjoy filming the scene of the wedding episode when Reese comes in. He's been on a stag do, and when I came home, Dad, I got something to tell you. What? I'm pregnant, and like she's full term, she's pregnant. And so that was quite funny. She was eating gherkins and all that, and Jack and Owen came in. Do you remember when
that episode, they built a set of the hotel room because we didn't have to.
Oh my God! Oh, that's yeah.
John Barron had to kick the door open, and he kicked the door, and the whole fucking set just.
He fucking loved those teeth. You know those.
Oh, the monster teeth.
The shapeshifter teeth. The kind of move. He created a character. He created some kind of like camp
toothy monster.
Some lady from Dallas or something, and he absolutely loved it with the nails and the heart, you know. Lots of fun times and some great. I think that's what me and Gav said. Russell writes comedy really well as well, so some fantastic subtle comedy at the beginning of season 3, Children of Earth, when the lovely scene with Yanto and Jack. When the doctor thought that they were a couple, he thought they were a couple. Well, look, there's a great exchange there with John and Gaz. That's really subtle, but so funny. Some great stuff to do.
The whole thing was fun. I like filming in Wales. I like locations. Brecon Beacons was amazing. One of my favourite locations.
And we have a question from the other side here, for the showman.
Good afternoon, gents.
Good afternoon.
When I was growing up in that, I always liked the lighter birds, and I always had the hots for Neris News. So I was just wondering with yourselves and that, did you like Neris News?
Oh, yeah.
Were you a bit shocked when she came out with the full makeup, and was she okay with that?
She's gorgeous, mate.
Amazing.
Oh, she's gorgeous. Gareth mentioned the Big Finish, and I've just done a Big Finish special just with Reese and Neris. What's her name? Brenda. And oh yeah, she's lovely. She's exactly like you'd want her to be as well.
She's hot.
And she's hot. And you know, she's kind of she went all for it with the shapeshifter. She put all the teeth in, did it all, and Jack blew her up, didn't he, you know, with a bazooka. And she's delightful. She takes her husband everywhere with her. And I can't remember his first name, but she calls him Husey, which is lovely. And she came back to the Big Finish, and she's kind of retired really, going, I don't really want to do anything now. And she looks incredible. She's so well. You know, I'm just like being at home with the grandkids and all that now, and having a nice life. And I think she must have a place in France or Spain or something like that. But she said when Torchwood came calling for this Big Finish, I had to do it because I had so much fun on the last one. She's delightful. Absolutely delightful.
We have a question. We have a question up towards the back.
How many times do you reckon Gwen insulted Jack throughout the entire programme?
Pardon, lovely?
How many times do you reckon Gwen insulted Jack throughout the entire programme?
I didn't hear it, sorry.
No. How many times do you think Gwen insulted Jack throughout the entire programme series?
How many times do you think Gwen has insulted Jack throughout the entire programme?
Yep.
Off camera or on camera?
Both, she said.
Sorry?
Both.
Both fucking millions.
Incalculable.
Yeah.
Incalculable.
On screen, does she diss him a lot? Yeah, I think so. Off screen, it's endless.
Yeah, she's banned.
Relentless. She calls him Ginny. Ginny Bazza. It's true.
We have a question for this person here.
Hi. Do you like it that Torchwood and Doctor Who were so separated as TV shows? Or do you think it would have been a good idea if there would have been more like crossover episodes or tighter connections of the two shows?
Good question.
No, I think Torchwood being its own beast, because the whole tone was different, and we did the one little crossover where the Torchwoods, there were 3 of us in the Doctor Who episode, Stolen Earth, and we had to shift the tone completely. We had to sort of make it, the performances a little more heightened. With Torchwood we could be more subtle, more human, more real, because our audience is older. We're telling the story in Doctor Who. You have to sort of heighten it a little bit because the audience, a lot of the audience are quite young. And we really noticed a sort of change in tone. And I think if you try to do much crossing over, it infected the other too much. And kids would have wanted to watch Torchwood, and there would have been that domestic argument at home between and Torchwood's own fan base would have wanted to watch Doctor Who, even though it's not necessarily, you know, if they're after something a bit more adult, then Torchwood was their thing rather than Doctor Who. I think it was good to keep them separate, and then they could both, Torchwood could flourish on its own then, I think, easier.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, I'd love to be in Doctor Who, but I think Torchwood needs to stand on its own. Just echo what Gaz has said, really. It's, and I didn't realise yet, but the actual technique of acting and all that in them is, that's true as well, because I didn't get a chance to be in that one episode, but that's interesting you said that, that's fascinating, but I prefer them to stay where they are, I think. Well, if Stephen Moffat's going to do it, they will.
Yeah, and also you don't have to make one fan base have to watch the other, if you know what I mean. If you crossed over too many times, then one show will become more reliant on the other one, and you don't have, if a Doctor Who fan doesn't like Torchwood, you don't want them to feel like they have to watch it because it's going to fill in blanks in Doctor Who. I think separate is best.
But David Tennant wanted to be in every episode of Torchwood, but we lobbied it out and no, he's not coming nowhere.
Get that
twat out of here.
Set of the studio right now.
And he said, I'll come in for free. No, don't want you. He wanted to be a weevil, he wanted to dress up and everything. No, I'll come in as something else, I'll put a wig on and everything. No, don't want you. You're not a nice man, David. Back off. I'm totally joking, by the way. He didn't want to be a weevil.
But he is a twat.
His father-in-law's here. Shh.
You have a question here from your lady in the orange?
Hello, Kai. How did you feel about the way your character was discovered, the world of the creatures and Torchwood and how it worked? What do you feel when you read the script in advance?
What did I feel when the way Reese developed and found out about Auroria?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I have to say, I feel really lucky because I think Reese's development and Reese's story, the way Reese's journey has gone on, has been lovely and handled really well from Russell and everybody. I'm really grateful. I love being, the oblivious boyfriend in season 1 and not knowing kind of thing, and Gwen having to drug him and all that, and lovely scenes to play. And then obviously the big reveal in season 2 where Reese finds out about what the heck is going on. There's aliens in Cardiff, all of that, bollocks. And so the discovery of that and getting to play that, and then having to learn to that whole new life of Torchwood and meeting new people, meeting this Captain Jack fella, marrying Gwen on a wedding day. She turns into a shapeshifter. And so part of Reese's journey has been lovely, and I love being Reese. I love Reese being the normal at-home dad, cooking beans on toast, doing the washing up with an apron on and marigold gloves and all that. But and then Gwen phones, "I need your hand. The world's about to end." Oh, for fuck's sake! I was just about to watch, countdown or something. So he's got to go. So to play all that is lovely because he just sort of takes it in his stride a bit and wants this whole nonsense to stop ASAP. I think Reese maybe deep down believes that it's all a dream and he will wake up one day when, thank the fucking Lord for that. I can just get back to driving lorries and that strange man isn't going to be on my head anymore. But it's been lovely to do, lovely to play.
I've got a question for a gentleman here.
Where's Jon Snow going? Where you going, John?
We've got to catch up with Batman friends.
All right, Jon Snow's going to catch up with Batman, bro.
Oh, don't worry, no, it's nothing. So what was your...
Batman's here?
Yeah. Did you know?
Do you mind if I go with Jon Snow, guys?
I would make 70 quid an autograph. He is Batman, so... Sorry, mate, carry on.
What was your guys' reaction to Yanto having a Cyberman, or Cyberwoman girlfriend being
Loved
basement?
it. Loved it.
Sorry, I
Reaction to Lisa. Yanto having the secret cyber girl.
How did I feel about that?
What was your reaction to reading the script?
Reading the script. Well, my first reaction was, oh my god, I've got more than 3 lines. A lot more than 3 lines. I had no idea that Yanto was going to get. I always thought he was going to be a sort of peripheral character that.
It's good at
on the sideline. So
loved it. I did.
When I got that script, it was. I was over the moon for a start. They had that much faith in me to drive an episode like that. And also, I absolutely shat myself because having that sort of responsibility as well is very nerve-wracking for an actor who's just used to doing the odd line here and there. So mixed emotions. Lovely the fact that I think we'd already started filming when they said yes. It was something Russell had in his mind about Yanto having sort of a really dark secret in the basement. But whatever that secret was, I don't think they were quite sure until we'd started filming. I think he had a conversation with Chris Chibnall, and I think it was just a decision over coffee. Yes, he's got a cyber girlfriend in the basement.
Oh God, she was fit.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, she's lovely. Have you met her? Caroline, oh God, she's at a convention, the Hub convention. She's a spectacular woman. Beautiful.
Yeah, there's lots of mixed emotions. I was very privileged.
Good episode, wasn't it? Yeah. Cyber girl. That could be a spin-off.
We have a question right at the front.
John would be there.
Yeah, John.
Hi guys, hope you're enjoying being in Glasgow. One of the things I really loved about Torchwood was its Welshness. I loved hearing the Welsh accents and seeing all the beautiful places. The one time I was in Cardiff though, it rained from the moment I got there until the moment I left. And I'm wondering if the weather ever caused you any problems when you were filming locations, exteriors, that sort of thing.
I think they used the weather as for its strengths really. And in fact, if it wasn't raining, they bring a rain machine to make it more realistic. There was Cardiff.
Did the weather ever cause the problems? I mean, yeah, no.
Not really. They were equipped for it. It was a show set in Cardiff, so
some of the nights that we were out late and on location in the in the disused quarry or whatever we'd be, and I particularly remember maybe towards Children of Earth time as well. Getting towards October, November, freezing cold on location. The actors get well looked after. The crew, fair play to them, man. They're there morning till night. You know what I mean? Wrapped up, out in the elements, working their balls off. Actors get well looked after as well. So it's good old Welsh weather, and that was the charm of it. If it was a grey day, it was a grey day. Don't worry about being a blue sky. Show Wales as the true, the the darkness and the grey cloud. It's rustic Welsh weather, good Celtic weather.
Every show encounters problems with weather. If we start filming the scene and it is not raining and we have to finish the scene and it starts raining, sometimes that can hold you up a bit. But we were quite lucky. Usually we didn't get rained off really.
Didn't get rained off. No.
Yeah, like I said, for the whole of countryside, it was dark, swirling clouds, and it sort of stayed like that for a week. So we were lucky with that. The only one thing I remember, which you can see, is that the episode at the end of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Where the explosion happens and it's suddenly nighttime, and they give some brief explanation. That wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to stay day, but we run out of light. That's the only example where I can think outdoor environment affected the episode.
A question from a lady here.
Hi.
What?
Do you have a funniest moment with the cast from either on set or at another convention?
So many funny moments. So many. Yeah.
Funniest.
I know, but it's hard to choose.
No,
there's so many. Kick her out.
There's so many funny moments on set. Oh.
I've told the story before, so sorry if you've heard it, but I like we were all quite depressed at the end of Children of Earth. I certainly was. And there was a scene where Eve had to walk down a corridor and walk through a gymnasium with all these dead bodies, all the people that died in Thames House, and the plastic sheets. And it was a big scene to set up, this big crane shot sort of following her down in the middle of this sort of these rows of bodies. So it took about 30 seconds. She'd go and she'd kneel down and she had to lift one piece of plastic back and John was there, she gives a slight smile because she knows he's going to come back to life, and the other piece of plastic, and I'm there, and she has a tear because I'm not. The first time she did it, she pulled back the huge setup, took about half hour to set up each time. Walked out, and she prepared herself emotionally, physically, pulled back the plastic. And John has obviously raided the props department. He's wearing a massive handlebar moustache. And he's pulling this face. Under the plastic. And like even the crew had spent half hour setting this shot up. He should be really, really annoyed and angry at the fact that they've spent half hour setting this massive crane shot up. And John's just messed it up for a cheap laugh. Even they broke a smile. It was a funny one.
And it was always good atmosphere on set. The fun was always offset as well. You know, a great bunch of people and a lot of laughs. And obviously we've all met up at conventions where we've been up to no good, as you know. Miracle Day 3 in the hotel, yes, Beth, yes. Who's being kidnapped?
Oh no, it was worse than that.
No.
Pulled you out of bed.
Yeah, no. Oh my.
Do tell. In his pants.
I went to bed early, at 1 o'clock, I think, on Saturday morning.
And Eve just...
And then all of a sudden Eve had realised I'd gone. And then it was Gareth, Eve, Arlene, I'd literally got to bed at 1, it was 1 o'clock.
Eve wasn't on anything.
Eve wasn't on any of it, and I was flat out next minute and at the door of the hotel room. She got security, she convinced security that
you were being molested.
I was in danger. And she convinced the security guard so much that he opened the fucking door to my bed. I was like, what the fuck are they doing there? Give Gareth, Pauline, Arlene, Eve, the security guard at the hotel, the concierge, Sean, Harry.
Pulled him out of the corridor in his pants.
Yeah, what the fuck? Well, my poor gimp was having a bath. Yeah. Yes, loads of those, Beth. Thanks for that.
We have a question for this gentleman here.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, I was going to add a wee comment about Children of Earth, you were saying how earlier about it was on 5 nights a week. I don't even think Game of Thrones is on 5 nights a week, so that's quite a special achievement, I think, guys. I was going to also say as well, just while talking about the spin-offs earlier, it was almost as if Russell T Davies, it was like a sci-fi revolution, as I saw it. Being a great Doctor Who fan, 1989 was a tragic year because sci-fi came off the air, Star Trek Next Generation kind of filled the gap, Quantum Leap, things like that. I was just going to ask, what were your did you guys have any kind of sci-fi influences perhaps before 2005?
I was a massive Trekkie when I was growing up. Next Generation particularly. I had all the episodes recorded on VHS and long play with the counter number on the tape. I had a book which I'd covered in silver foil, which is my Star Trek book, and I had each episode written out with a tape. Each episode where on the tape the episode was. And I used to get my auntie to buy me stuff off the QVC channel, the Star Trek Hour, get the phaser and shuttlecraft. Yeah, it's a massive Trekkie fan. So I still can't speak to the cast of the Next Generation without sort of shaking, and I have proper fanboy up because I revert back to the way I was when I was watching. I was 14, 15. I auditioned for Jonathan Frakes for Thunderbirds. I'm glad I didn't get it, rubbish. Because of my Star Trek fandom, I think that's what messed my audition up. I got through the first round with the casting director, and then my agent said, "Oh, you're going in for a recall. They really, really liked you, and you can meet the director, Jonathan Frakes." I was like, "What?" Jonathan Frakes is the director. I was like, "Riker?" No, Jonathan Frakes. Yeah, but that's Riker from Star Trek. And I went in and I prepared myself. I thought I was doing really, really well. And then I meet him, and he's huge as well. He's big character, very, very friendly. He was like, Gareth David Moy, that's a nice name. I was like, thanks. Pull myself together, and then it all went to shit when I started reading, and he did this right in my face. Oh my God, Riker is filming me through imaginary finger camera. And I went apart.
Fucking brilliant. I was always a big Doctor Who fan. I think that was, I was excited about Russell bringing it back. And I was a huge Christopher Eccleston fan even before he took on the role of the Doctor. One of my favourite actors still is. I loved him, and I still do. And I was a huge Billy fan. Had all the posters and everything. From Smash Hits. But no, definitely Chris Eccleston fan. And Russell, so it was exciting. It was exciting, and I think you're right, that sci-fi revolution. Because what was that, when you think about it, what was clever is Doctor Who was on the Doctor Who generation at the tea time with David Tennant. Then you had the adults for the Torchwood. Then you had the Sarah Jane. So actually none of them really crossed in that way. Again, actually, so it's better they all stay where they are. Because it wasn't overload then, was it? Because each one was different. It wasn't overkill. Of course, they were science fiction, but each one was vastly different. But part of that world. And it was handled brilliantly by Russell.
Absolutely, he had 3 shows that you could choose. It's like pick a mix. You could either watch them independently, or you could watch all 3 and find the subtle links. And he was a master of that. I found with recent Doctor Who episodes, that's only one show. Yet it's quite the episodes rely quite a lot on each other, don't they? You also had to watch a whole series sort of get what was going on. And I think that sort of muddies the nature of Doctor Who. I used to love Sylvester McCoy was my Doctor, and I love the fact that you could just tune into an episode having missed 3 before, and still be able to get caught in the story and know what was going on.
And I found that with David as well. I just found you just get these wonderful one-off episodes, and you just go, blink and things. You just go in and go, wow, that was the perfect hour of television at times.
Yeah.
Watching some of Russell's, and and like my little boy watches some of it now, and I'm like, and I'm lost. God knows what this poor 7-year-old's thinking. Because it's too difficult. It's just what it isn't what I remember it, or what it should be. Who knows?
I think it's in good hands now.
I think it's in great hands now. I do. Good
yeah.
God, yeah. He's Chibnall is the man, and I think he is of Russell T Davies stock.
Absolutely,
and very similar. Good man, good writer, knows it, understands it. Has cast it brilliantly, I think, as well. He's wonderful from Jodie, and I can't wait.
He's got that same ability that Russell has, being able to marry high comedy and high drama, like put them next to each other for it to somehow work. Tragedy, comedy, putting really human people in really extraordinary situations, and still get them to. That's difficult to get the balance right without either being too over the top or too ridiculous.
And bring it into the screen. That's why I used to like Russell. He used to be able to go. Buy into it straight away, like you'd go on the journey with him, Tennant would bring you into the screen, you'd go with him all the way through it and stuff. And I think Chibnall does that with his writing as well, with the success of Broadchurch and things like that. You love all them characters so well, they're so well defined and so well written that you commit to them and you invest time in them, that you follow them, and it comes over this. It comes through the screen into your living room, and you go on that journey with them. I'm excited. I think it's in great hands.
A question here from the lady at the front.
Hi, I was just wondering, because Peter Capaldi was in Children of Earth, obviously. I was wondering how you reacted when you found out he was going to be the Doctor. And from what you just said, do you think it's a shame that we're not going to get to see Capaldi's Doctor with Chibnall's writing?
Yes.
Yes, I
think that's true as well. As happy as I am for Jodie, and I think it's great news. I think it's great that Jodie Whittaker's taking over. It's a shame that Capaldi isn't going to be with Chibnall, I think. My reaction was I'm hard pushed to find a better actor to play the part, because he's superb.
Amazing, brilliant. Yeah. What a choice. I was really excited when he got it. It's just a shame his material he had to work with wasn't quite as classically Doctor Who as
he'd been amazing with Russell as well. He'd been amazing, but he's superb in Children of Earth, by the way. Jesus Christ, probably the performance of the series. He's just Sorry, Naoko was good.
Naoko was good.
Yeah, no, just what damn fine actor.
Effortless, he's brilliant.
Yeah, wonderful actor. And yeah, if you change not look children, you're dead on. Thank you.
And a question from Lady here.
Is that a wig? Is that a wig? Is that a wig?
Yeah, there's... I was over...
Is that blue and pink on either side?
Yeah, it's Harley Quinn. I was
Is that a
over...
red and blue jacket?
I was over at the panel yesterday and asked about the coffee wrap and you said you'd do it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Coffee wrap.
Prick.
Okay, everyone, ready? Let's get a... All I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no good for me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee from a proper cup of coffee pot, I'll have a cup of motherfucking tea. That was a bit of a cheat, that was quite slow. All I want is
And we have a question for this gentleman.
Josh. Hi. It's for Tyler. Obviously with Miracle Day, you guys went to America to film that. So, what was like the difference between sort of filming in the UK and filming in America? Was there a difference?
Do you know what? Good question, Josh. What was it like? What was the difference filming between Cardiff and America? I mean, do you know what? I'm going to say the food. Because actually the crew and everything, and the way they set up things over there is exactly the same. You know, the same jargon, it's the same setup. There's a few extra bodies over there, I must say, because there's a bit more money over there. But the catering on these film sets that they have over there is unbelievable. They have this thing called craft services where they will just make you anything you want, like all the time. The catering in this country isn't, can sometimes be shocking. Like
egg and chips,
you know, a fish pie, chips, porridge has been overnight. It's all, it's good. Some catering companies are excellent, and some aren't. Over there, it's all excellent. But what the main difference was as well, I have to say, was the fact that we were in Hollywood doing it. It's bizarre to think now, even mentioning that we were over there filming it in Hollywood on the Warner Brothers lot.
Oh, it's alright this time, isn't it?
It was lovely and the sunshine was great. But not much difference in the way we filmed and the way it all was. The food and the weather was just superb. And we were filming on the Warner Brothers lot. We were in a big stage. We don't think it was on the old ER stage where they filmed ER for years. And there's big bronze plaques outside of each of these sound stages that tells you what's been there. And that particular sound stage where all the Torchwood set was built, that sound stage was built in the late 1930s and Casablanca was shot in there. And literally across the road to it, like this little street, was 2.5 Men, and we were there when Charlie Sheen had his fucking big meltdown.
Really?
Yeah. He had a massive trailer. His trailer was like it was like Robert De Niro's RV. That one, yeah. So it was enormous. And what's that? Oh, that's Charlie's trailer. Like he drives that, or he drives it and comes in and he's in that. But we were there when it all got shut down and everything. It was a fantastic time and an amazing time over there. And an amazing experience. Pinch yourself, really. Can't quite believe we've been over there, but just amazing. Thank you, mate.
We have a question here.
Hi, if you were to do another season of Torchwood, would you prefer it to be one of the sort of single story series like season 3 or 4, or would you prefer it was more single episode stories like seasons 1 and 2?
Personally, I like what Kai said earlier, I love the way Children of Earth was put out, because even though something is of sort of 10 episodes and it's a sci-fi adventure series, then it is quite nice to have it episodic. But I think to do 5 episodes with one story and to release it all in 1 week is a great idea. I think it was the first episode of event television.
It was the first time it had been done, I think. They tried it a few years ago, but I think it was the first, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good place for it to be, you know, even if they did it, you know, you know, 6, 7 nights, but I think that one big story arc in a short burst, because that's what we do these days. We all watch Netflix for 10 hours. You know, we binge now on things for, you know, on a train journey you're watching 4 episodes of this, you know, so do it, you know, do it all back to back and get that one story told properly over 6 hours, about 5 hours. Amazing.
I think Torchwood sort of invented that sort of event television. I think that's where I think if it ever came back, that's where it should.
That's where it should be.
That's where it should be on BBC One, once or twice a year, 5 episodes, 1 story.